Smash Bros. Ultimate is loaded with items, and today's list counts down the best of the best and the worst of the worst. We won't be including Smash Balls, Assist Trophies, or Poke/Master Balls because their range and use could be used for their own video, and we won't count the items that hold other items too. These include the Crate, Rolling Crate, Party Ball, Barrel, Capsule, Grass, and Sandbag. But with that, let's get her ranked. 76, Poison Mushroom. If you mistake this for the Super Mushroom, run for your life and good luck out there. 75, Boomerang. You throw it and it comes back to you. Every time I grab this, I regret it because it's so weak and it gets in the way of me doing my usual attacks. 74, Smoke Ball. After it's thrown, smoke bursts all around, making it hard to see. It can be stuck to an enemy too, but man, this item is helpful for absolutely no one. It's like a gimped version of the Nintendog Assist Trophy. 73, Freezy. Throw a chunk of ice and freeze your opponents. By mashing buttons, you can escape in mere seconds. Plus it rolls on the ground, making it easy to accidentally destroy instead of pick up. 72, Super Leaf. You can hover for a little bit, if that's special at all. Honestly, I just like having the tails and ears. It's just not that practical of an item. 71, Rocket Belt. It's like the Super Leaf, but you get more airtime and can go up. The only character that would really benefit from this is Little Mac, I guess, and any other characters with bad recoveries. 70, Food. Eat some snacks to heal in tiny amounts. It's basically like eating one chip out of a chip bag. It's never enough and you're left unfulfilled. 69, Mr. Saturn. One of the weakest and most useless items. However, it can break shields. But let's be honest, how likely is that even going to happen? There's no need to shield against an item that barely does damage to begin with. 68, Banana Peel. Delicious yellow fruit slips person and you have a giggle. But honestly, I'm not laughing because this item is kinda crappy. It does little damage and avoiding it is a non-issue. 67, Blast Box. A box that explodes from fire attacks or taking too much damage. This one just kinda scares me. It's hard to tell when it's gonna blow up, unless you use fire of course. It can do good damage, but it's not that safe. 66, Motion Sensor Bomb. Once this is set, the bomb will go off the moment anyone gets too close. It might sound great, but it's always obvious where it is, and you can just blow it up with a projectile, defeating the whole purpose of it. 65, Pitfall. This one makes a hidden pitfall that will trap players who step on it. I've never found it that useful, especially since players can usually escape before I can get a good attack on them. 64, Fake Smash Ball. It's a Smash Ball, but it's not. You try to break her open and end up taking an enormous amount of damage. Sometimes it's easy to tell that it's fake and sometimes it isn't. I can't even trust Smash Balls anymore because of this. 63, Special Flag. Now, yes, this item does get you an extra stock or a KO, but do you know how lucky you have to be to actually get to use this? You gotta hold the flag up for like 3 seconds. Your odds are really slim of that happening. 62, Healing Field. Throw this to create a healing field on the ground. I find that it's pretty counterintuitive seeing how rarely players stand in one spot. 61, Hothead. A fireball that grows when attacked with fire or electricity. It moves around the stage or a platform, and it's really only useful in very specific situations. 60, Fire Flower. Hold this out and flame your foes in fire. It's really hard to trap your enemies in the flames unless you get really close to them, and the attack power is kinda low. 59, Warp Star. Sends you to the sky and back down for a devastating attack. You can move a bit to the left and right to aim, but your enemies are given so much time to avoid the star. 58, Bumper. This can be placed in the air or on the ground to launch players across the stage. However, the launch isn't that great and doesn't do damage after the initial attack either. 57, Back Shield. The name speaks for itself, you're shielded from behind. But since you usually attack from the front, I've never found it all that useful in the long haul. 56, Killer Eye. But is it that killer? It's an eyeball that shoots beams but changes directions when you hit it. It's not bad, but shots come out really slowly. 55, Soccer Ball. Give this a kick and the ball bursts into flames? Well, the flames do hurt enemies, but actually hitting someone with it is basically a shot in the dark, no pun intended. 54, Ray Gun. You fire a fast-moving shot that knocks enemies backwards and into the air. This can be used to spam, but it's also rather easy to break out of, and the shots aren't that strong. 53, Banana Gun. Squeeze that banana's insides and it somehow turns into a bullet. While it's really creative, you only get one shot, and it's rather slow too. 52, Steel Diver. Shoot a torpedo and watch it blow in your opponent's face. Or not, because it's stupid slow and easy to avoid. But saying that, if you do get hit, it'll knock you off your feet. 51, Staff. a weapon that fires a laser, but the farther away you are, the stronger the shot is. It's really fast, which is great, but getting a shot from far away is pretty unlikely most of the time. 50. Rage Blaster. The higher your damage, the stronger the blast will be. While this can be a decent weapon, it's not really the best option out there, but I do love how awesome the blaster looks. 49. Urina. I don't know how to say that. Anyway, throw this and it'll release dangerous spikes for massive damage, and it sticks to walls. 48. Bob-omb. Grab this bad boy and throw for a nice explosion. But the funny guy has a mind of his own, as he'll walk around if you don't grab him soon enough, and he'll blow up in your hand if you hold him for too long, so you gotta be careful. 47. Gooey Bomb. Throw this sticky mess and it will stick to something, hopefully your enemy. This can be quite useful, but your enemy can also brush by you and stick the bomb back onto yourself. 46. X-Bomb. This blast goes in 4 directions, which can be vertical, horizontal, or diagonal. It's rather powerful, but also not that hard to avoid since it does take a couple seconds to go off. 45. Smart Bomb. Throw this and a massive explosion occurs, hurting anyone caught in the blast. Unless it's a dud, of course. The only minor issue is avoiding the giant blast yourself. 44. Cuckoo. Cuckoo? I don't know how to talk. But what is this? It's little chickens that just kind of hang out. But if you hurt one of these guys, a swarm will come in and mash you up, and they're really good at making you vulnerable. 43. Beehive. Very similar to the cuckoo, seeing as a swarm of bees mob a fighter, but they're easier to control. 42. Daybreak Parts. Grab the 3 parts of this huge weapon for a powerful beam attack. The beam itself packs a huge chunk of damage, but the problem is actually grabbing all the parts since your enemies likely have the others. 41. Dragoon. It's basically the Daybreak, but more effective, even though it does a little less damage. 40. Killing Edge. A big ol' katana for your slashing pleasure. When it glows, the damage and launch power is doubled, but the glowing only happens briefly, so you kinda just have to get lucky hitting someone since the action is so chaotic. 39. Super Launch Star. Throw this star-shaped item and launch players that enter it. It may not seem that bad, but you can actually die at a relatively low damage by jumping in by accident. But same with any enemies you push in. 38. Fire Bar. Yes, this is a sword bar right from the original Super Mario Bros. Every swing you connect with removes a ball of fire, making the reach shorter and shorter, but the power is quite snazzy. 37. Beam Sword. It's a classic Smash Bros. Item. You swing, charge, or throw the beam sword and slash up your enemies. It's even got a nice little zappy sound when you swing it, but it's also not the strongest of attacks. 36. Death Scythe. It's similar to the beam sword, but a tilt or smash attack will KO at high damage, so it's slightly better, albeit similar at the same time. 35. Star Rod. Swing this candy cane or charge it to release a powerful star attack. I'd say it's slightly better than most sword type items because of the added projectile. 34. Lipstick. Whack this flower on a foe and they'll get a pretty little flower on their head. And they take constant damage from the flower, so it's the weapon that keeps on giving. 33. Deku Nut. This itty-bitty nut explodes on impact. It'll either daze fighters on the ground or launch them in the air. It's a nut that don't play around. 32. Super Spicy Curry. That's a spicy meatball. You'll breathe fire uncontrollably and burn players in the process. It's good for doing bits of damage, but getting attacks in can be a struggle due to the fire. 31. Black Hole. Throw this to create a black hole to trap players and items. As you'd expect, this can be useful for getting some free hits in. 30. Bomber. Hold this bomb high to set it off, then enemies caught in the blast take a ton of damage. The drawbacks is that it can explode in your hands and it takes a while to actually go off, but the blast range is huge. 29. Screw Attack. If you want Samus's recovery, it's all yours with this on. It traps players inside and does a good amount of damage, despite requiring you to get really close to an enemy for it to work. 28. Bomb Chew. This zippy bomb will attach to the floors, walls, or ceilings. What's nice is this bomb is fast and not always easy to avoid if you stick it on a floating platform as an example. 27. Hawkatate Bomb. Chuck the ship and it'll soar into the sky just to crash back down. This one is interesting because it can be easy to forget where exactly it's gonna land since it's in the air for like 3 years, and it's powerful too. 26. Bunny Hood. Run faster and jump higher, but turned up to the extreme. This item is definitely useful, and maybe it's just me, but it can be hard to control what you're doing from the sheer speed sometimes. 25. Metal Box. Become a metal creature. Light attacks won't make you flinch, and you're tough to launch, which is pretty fantastic. However, you fall real easy, so you gotta be careful. 24. Fairy Bottle. Heals 100% damage, but only if you've taken over 100%. It's basically the heart container, but with silly required conditions. 23. Beast Ball. Throw this and it disappears out of thin air. But bam! It comes back in flames near an opponent. It's not super strong, but the element of surprise is pretty great. 22. Healing Sprout. An item that you can pick up or get stuck onto your body that heals you over time. It's pretty nice to have, even though it does heal kinda slow. 21. Pow Block. Hit or throw this to launch your enemies in the air. You get 3 uses out of it, and it's really great for juggling enemies and getting some easy damage in. 20. Super Scope. Can be fired rapidly for maximum spam annoyance or fully charged for a powerful shot. Plus you can run around while using it, so it's really versatile. 19. Spiny Shell. We all know what this does in Mario Kart. It's the same idea in Smash Bros, but goes for the player with the highest score. While you can avoid it, it's not very easy to do, and it's pretty darn strong. 18. Maxim Tomato. Heal 50% after eating this. It's not a lot of damage, but it is enough to make a difference between winning and losing. 17. Timer. Pick this up to slow down players for tons of easy hits. Unless it backfires, which, seriously, why does that item even do that? 16. Lightning. Grab this and all your enemies shrink, making them easy to KO. Assuming this doesn't backfire too. I'm so glad most items don't do this. 15. Green Shell. Throw this sucker and it slides across the ground. The knockback on this is absolutely bonkers, despite the sliding making it hard to grab sometimes. 14. Hammer. The classic item from Donkey Kong. You'll swing this and cause massive blows to your enemies with a nice little jingle. The only bad thing is the head can sometimes pop off and be used against you, but overall it's always been one of the best. 13. Golden Hammer. It's the same as the hammer, but way stronger, and by mashing A, you can float in the air. 12. Franklin Badge. Wearing this reflects all projectiles, which basically makes more than half of these items useless with this on. 11. Bullet Bill. You turn into a bullet bill and can plow through your foes. It's fast and effective. 10. Ramblin' Evil Mushroom. This item is evil. If you hit your enemy with enough of the spores, their controls will get reversed. It's very easy to get caught in the spores, and escaping is a struggle. 9. Drill. Fire this drill bit and trap a player inside. You can escape at low percent, but medium or high, just forget it. You're basically done for. 8. Superstar. You're invincible for 10 seconds. Everyone will run from you, and that's exactly how you want them to be, fearful of your presence. 7. Super Mushroom. Grow into a big boy and wreck some house. All attacks are way stronger and you won't be messed with, trust me. 6. Home Run Bat. Side smash this bad boy and your foe is almost guaranteed to KO. And if you aren't having luck getting a hit in, throwing is your next best option. 5. Beetle. This nasty thing grabs onto a foe and flies them into the air. The higher your damage, the farther you go up, and yeah, you aren't likely to break out of this. 4. Boss Galaga. It's basically the beetle, but it has a bit more range for grabbing people, plus hitting it to make it purple makes it even harder to escape. 3. Heart Container. Heal 100% after eating this. It's basically like getting a free stock since you usually die around this percentage. 2. Orc Club. Swing this bad boy and you just win. The swing is not only stupid strong, but a gust of wind picks up that can also cause damage. And number 1, Gust Bellows. Blow your enemies off the stage and make them hate you for turning items on. While you can shield to block the wind, the breeze catches you off guard almost every time. It's so easy to die from this stupid item. Well, that was surprisingly difficult to put together, but I feel like the most broken items deserve to be near the top of the list. And that is it for the video. I hope you enjoyed, and thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you all in the next one.